Hey guys, I'm Meteorologist Chris Tomer. Let's talk some mountain weather, and it still looks like a three-storm combo right through probably the 10th of November for the west. And right now, the first low, storm number one, is diving south through California. I've got radar up out of Reno, and you can see the precip running right into the Sierra Tahoe area, South Lake Tahoe, Kirkwood, Palisade, all getting snow out of this. And this will become the low that takes that southern track. So let me show you what that looks like. Here's the setup, and this is infrared satellite. Let me mark the big storm features here. So there's the low dropping down through California. It's the one that's really changing the pattern across the west. Here's your second storm up here, and then there's a third one spinning back here. All three will become players between now and the 10th of November. In fact, let me just mark the storm track or the jet here. You can see what it's doing. Big trough building in across the west, and that's the key to the whole thing, because that is one, there's two, and there's storm number three. Storm number one takes more of a southern track. Storm two kind of goes mid and north, and three will follow two. So that's the way all of this shakes out. And I talked about it this morning. Three-storm combo early November on my blog, christomer.com. Please subscribe if you haven't. I really appreciate it. I went through each of the storms, kind of gave you my opinion on each and who it might benefit and which has the best orographics. Hint at storm number 2 and 3. A couple of cams here. It's snowing. Kirkwood, I put one up for Tahoe, Palisade, Tahoe. Went through the setup and looked at the jet stream flow. In fact, all the way through the 7th, and I've got the high res of those, so I'll bring that up here so you can see it. So this is the jet stream flow on the 4th, that low sweeping its way through New Mexico. The target zone for the heaviest snow, or bullseye, is going to be southwest Colorado for over a foot in a number of those areas. And then the low actually moves pretty quickly. Here is the 5th. Low is way out into the heartland. But look to the Pacific Northwest. What you see there between the 4th and the 5th is technically a brief atmospheric river. And that is something that I talked about this morning on my blog. Let me just go back briefly to this and show you. I did talk about the atmospheric river, showed the forecast for that. If you want to go take a look at that, what we call that is Integrated Water Vapor Transport, or IVT. So that's part of what we're seeing here on the 5th with that jet stream going from west to east like a fire hose, just shooting all that moisture into the Pacific Northwest, the Cascades, high volcanoes, and BC. And then what happens is, with that powerful jet streak, a lot of that gets overrun or blown in and overruns the interior Northwest, mid and central. Now, what may very well happen is this could drop far enough south. Look at the 6th, that as the whole axis shifts to the south, it may start to impact the Sierra out of this and become sort of a central and northern tracker right through the Sierra, Utah, Colorado district and up into Wyoming, Idaho. There could be some big totals. So that's the 6th. And it lays the groundwork for the 3rd storm as well. I mean, that's what we're looking at right here, storm number 2. But storm number 3 would follow a very similar track. So here's the 7th, and you can see the bend in the jet, and it buckles south, and it's nailing. See, this is a much better orientation for the jet, where it's running west to east and just nailing right up against this, nailing the Sierra. Perfect orographic setup right there if this holds. I really like the way storm 2 and 3 look from an orographic perspective. So all that was discussed this morning on my blog. Just let me go back really quick here and just show you down. I also went into forecast timing. This is obviously key. Let me show you what I'm thinking with this. So by tomorrow morning, it looks like this. By Friday morning, last of the snow moving through Colorado. Here comes storm number 2 diving out of the Pacific Northwest. And notice the precip and the snow. Look at that spiral on Monday morning as it slides down through the Sierra. There's Monday night. That's a pretty healthy looking pattern to me for the Sierra. If this holds, you're looking at a good track and good orographics, and a lot of snow for the interior as well. You're just getting blow off into the interior. Of course, then storm number 3 is behind this, and that would run us through the 10th. So that's what it looks like as far as timing. Just one more time. There's Thursday at 6, Friday at 6, and here comes Saturday at 6. By the time we get into Sunday, there comes storm number 2, and then that rolls all the way south on Monday into California through Monday night. So really good stuff right there. All right, let's go into snow totals here. This is what I'm thinking all of today through the 5th. So the numbers you see in Colorado, especially southwest Colorado, are happening with this first storm because it's a southern track. You're looking at a foot or more in a number of these places. Had to dial back Taos, Ski Santa Fe, and Angel Fire a little bit just based on the wind direction. I had to just kind of shave those numbers down, unfortunately. But what you see happening or starting up in parts of Utah and parts of Wyoming and the northern tier of the Rockies, now that's from storm number 2. And let me take you into the next period here. This is the final period of the forecast. This is the 6th through the 10th. This is associated with storm 2 and 3. And look at the big numbers. Look at California. If this sets up, you're looking at 1 to 2 feet or more. You're looking at another 1 to 2 feet in Utah, another 4 to 12 in Colorado, another 1 to 2 feet in the Tetons, and good numbers through Idaho, western Montana, and the Pacific Northwest in some places. So between the two periods, and I'll show them to you again. Here's 11.2 through 11.5. On top of that, we add another 1 to 2 feet in a lot of places. So this is an active pattern. I like what I'm seeing, especially out of the latter 2 storm systems. I'll keep things updated here. That'll do it for today. Thank you for always tuning in here. I appreciate it.